My name is Mike Blackburn. I'm a professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology here at McGovern Medical School. I play other roles for the university. I'm Dean of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. I'm also the institution's Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer. But I always come back to the med school. I've been here at the medical school for 22 years. Came in August of 1997. My initial appointment was as a research assistant professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. And I came with a new chairman that was joining the department, Dr. Rodney Kellums. Rod and I were together at Baylor College of Medicine. I was a postdoc in his laboratory, and he had just accepted the position to be chairman in the Department of Biochemistry here. He enticed me to come with him. Best decision I've ever made. I came in initially on the research track. Was fortunate to be able to get funded pretty rapidly and transitioned onto the tenure track. And then grew my lab and worked with Rod and the existing faculty in the department to essentially help him build that department to what it is today. It's a great place to work. My favorite thing about the medical school is its people. Every day you come in, and I was very fortunate to know everyone from the staff that operate this school to my fellow faculty to the students. My laboratory focuses on lung disease, and one of the conscious decisions that I made was to bring graduate students into my laboratory to work with them. I liked being a mentor. I liked being right next to them and helping them with experiments and getting feedback from them that changed the course of our research. I love that. I love that we could use graduate students as a bridge between laboratories to promote collaborations, not just in biochemistry, but around the med school. I guess I did okay with that because about 9 years ago, they asked me to become dean of the grad school. And really, when you think of our graduate school, it's unique because it's two institutions, MD Anderson and UT Health, but most of our UT Health graduate students, by far, most of them are here at McGovern Medical School. And it really is about research and helping those students find the labs they love. So I felt that I contributed to the research missions of the medical school, not only my own lab, but by helping with graduate education throughout. And about 4 years ago, that expanded even further, where as Chief Academic Officer and Executive Vice President, I get to help our deans oversee research programs at their school, trying to promote collaborations amongst schools for research and promote collaborations even amongst institutions in the Med Center and throughout. Being very familiar with the research at the medical school has really helped me in that position because I feel that I can make connections with who I see as my colleagues in research here at McGovern Med School with everybody essentially to grow that research mission. So each step of the way has been a little bit different, but it's been a lot of fun, and it always gets back to the people. I loved being able to come to work every day and be mentored by my faculty colleagues there in biochemistry. Remember the first person I met, I stepped out of my new office on the 6th floor and looked down, and there was a priest skipping down the hall towards me. And I thought, what in the world? And it was Henry Strobel. And Henry Strobel invited himself into my office, and we got to know each other well, had lunch together many times, and he always was there for me to answer questions. So getting to know faculty like that really endeared me to want to contribute to the school, to be one of those faculty, to grow into someone who could be a mentor to others. That's what's kept me here and kept me excited, the students, the staff. My strongest memories at McGovern Medical School have really been around research and around education. So, for example, we have within the graduate program of biochemistry and cell biology, formerly known as biochemistry and molecular biology, opportunities to get together and exchange research ideas around students. Part of these are known as research retreats, where we get away together and we dig into science, listen to student presentations, promote collaborations. We typically go off-site to a place called Camp Allen. And those are wonderful experiences because it's all about science, but there's a lot of team building and fun that goes around it. So I have a lot of good memories because that was something you knew every March that was going to come up, and where you might have scattered, you'd come back together. So I really enjoyed those types of events. I also really have appreciated my opportunities around teaching, getting to know the students. I only gave a handful of lectures in the biochemistry course at the medical school, but there were some of my favorite memories of getting in there and giving lectures and then working in smaller groups with the students, the medical students. So I have a lot of fond memories around that. But probably most of my recollections are actually pretty personal, and that comes around serving as a mentor for my PhD students and my postdocs, where in our lab we have very intense and focused research goals, and we work together in a team. Very hard, long hours, go through a lot of exciting accomplishments together, discoveries, publications, presentations, but then failures together. And getting through that and getting to know these amazing young scientists have been probably the best thing that's happened to me at this school. Well, I hope I've influenced it in a positive way around research and around focusing on people who do research. So I hope that I've been able to show some leadership in that area, more recently probably than in the early years, but where to listen to other faculty or administrators or leaders on what they want this school to be from a research perspective. And after listening, putting in place programs or resources that help them do that. When I think about how do you measure that, one of the things that I keep track of is NIH funding. Funding from the NIH is peer-reviewed research at the highest level, and how much NIH resources come to the medical school is an indication of research quality. And we've seen progressive increases in NIH funding come to our school each of the last 6 years. That's important for a lot of reasons. More funding means more research that's happening. And we've seen that really tied to not only quality, but new recruitments within our various departments. So research growth, new activity, new people coming in, but also our existing faculty continuing to do better and better. So seeing the increase in research dollars is one indication of that, and I hope that some of the programs and opportunities I've put in place to help faculty have contributed to that. So what has the school done for me? The school has done a lot. It's given me a sense of professional accomplishment. It's allowed me to grow as a scientist and as a person and as a mentor in ways that I never expected. When you come in as a new faculty member, at least me, I'll speak for myself, you really don't know what to expect. For me, it was all about the science. I knew what experiments I needed to do to get that paper, to get that grant, but I had no idea what it was going to be like to be a manager of a lab or spark up new collaborations or become a leader. But the people here who would listen to me and mentor me and help me made all that possible. So I didn't expect that. And so that's been something that the medical school really has thrust upon me, and I've enjoyed. This medical school has changed a lot in 22 years since I've been here, largely around growth and expansion of the clinical and the research environment. If you just look at the number of faculty or the number of research dollars or the number of students we educate, they've all undergone massive expansion, really in the last 10 years. And it's been great to see that and to be involved with that, particularly because with that growth and expansion, the school hasn't lost those things that I find most endearing. And that's the people, that's you feeling that you're part of a team working together. It's about the people more than it is the money and the size. But to see the school grow and maintain that community has been something that's been, I watch, and it's important to me, and it's been good to see. Well, the legacy of McGovern Medical School is probably very individualized for who you ask that question of. For me, it's about becoming a professor. For those of us in academics, it's really a culmination of really bringing together a lot of things. Being successful in a research lab, as judged by being able to produce papers, get grants, but then being able to train the next generation of scientists to establish relationships with graduate students and postdocs. That has really built a legacy for me, and I think when I think of McGovern Medical School, it's really all about that, because this is my home. And I'm sure it's different for others. I think of the thousands of medical students that have come through this program and where they are and what their impact on Houston, Texas, and outside of Texas are for caring for people. That's huge, that's immense. And our residency programs and the way that they impact the local community is immense. So McGovern has that reputation and that legacy for patient care, and I'm seeing the reputation for research grow, which is really great.